Hello everyone. So till now we have seen two operands. One is the lac operon, which is a positive regulation, and then we have seen tryptophan operon, which is an example of a negative regulation. Now we'll see the third type of regulation in arabinose operon, wherein both positive as well as negative regulation both are seen because of a regulatory protein C. Because of a regulatory protein C, both positive regulation as well as negative regulation are seen in arabinose operon. Okay, it is also called as arabad. All right. So arabinose operon, positive regulation. Example was lac operon. Negative regulation example was tryptophan operon. Both positive and negative is arabinose operon. Okay. Now let us see what arabinose operon has. We already know that an operon is a linear array of gene arrangement. So there are three genes, these three genes, that is ARA-B, ARA-A and ARA-D. Okay, then there is one more gene here at this end, that is ARA-C. Okay. So an arabinose operon, it has four genes. What are those four genes? ARA-A, ARA-B, ARA-C and ARA-D. Okay. What do these code for? These code for ARA-A, it codes for an isomerase. ARA-B, it codes for an enzyme ribonucleokinase. ARA-C codes for the regulatory protein C. And ARA-D codes for an epimerase. Of these four, three enzymes are required for our arabinose pathway. What does this arabinose operon do? Its main function is breakdown of arabinose. So arabinose breaks down to ribulose. Ribulose is converted to ribulose 5-phosphate. This ribulose 5-phosphate gets converted to xylulose 5-phosphate. Okay, arabinose gets converted to xylulose 5-phosphate. We all know that xylulose 5-phosphate is an intermediate in HMP shunt pathway, so it goes into the HMP shunt. Now what are the various enzymes required? Arabinose and ribulose are structural or stereoisomers. So an isomerase converts arabinose to ribulose. Ribulose takes in an ATP and forms ribulo 5-phosphate. So ribonucleokinase is the one which converts ribulose to ribulose. Then ribulose and xylulose are epimers. So an epimerase will convert ribulose 5-phosphate to xylulose 5-phosphate. So all this three enzymes in a metabolic pathway, they are arranged sequentially. Okay, these are arranged sequentially on DNA to form an operon. All right. So ARA A are our isomerase, ribonucleic and epimerase. These are the three genes which are coded by our three enzymes. ARA B codes for ribonucleic. ARA A codes for isomerase. ARA D codes for epimerase. Alright. Apart from an ARA C, it codes for a regulatory protein C. This regulatory protein C, it is a dimer. It is a homodimer. Okay. So it has two ends. Let us say that I will draw it like this. It has two ends. All right. So one end is bound with the other end. Homodimer. Okay. Now one end of this C protein, it is an arabinose binding site. Arabinose binding site, and the other one is the DNA binding site. DNA binding site. Okay, that is the structure of arabinose. Now apart from these, what does it have? It has two promoter regions. It has two promoter regions. Promoter regions are the places where promoter for BAD. Then there is another promoter for the C protein. For this promoter, RNA polymerase will bind here. RNA polymerase will bind here, and it will transcribe mRNA for these three proteins. For promoter C, RNA polymerase will bind here. Okay, RNA polymerase will bind here, and it will transcribe protein C. Okay, it will transcribe mRNA for protein C. So two promoters are there. One promoter is for PBAD, that is for these three enzymes, and the other promoter is for protein C. Okay, then apart from this, what all are there? Then there are two operator regions. Operator region 1, operator region 2. Two operator regions. Operator region 1 and operator region 2. Okay, so two operator regions. Operator region is the region where C regulatory protein will bind. Operator region is the region where C regulatory protein will bind. Okay, then apart from this, we have an inducer site. Okay, this inducer site. Okay, this inducer site is also having two parts, I1 and I2. So it has 1 we'll say two inducer sites, I1 and I2. Inducer site is also a site where C regulatory protein will bind. It is also a place, both O1, O2, I1 and I2 are the places where this C regulatory protein will bind to operate this arabinose operon. Alright. Then we have one CRE site. We have one CRE site. Okay. CRE site. One CRE site. What is this CRE site? We have seen in lac operon, same thing, CRE site, catabolite, gene, response element. Who will bind to this CRE? Yes, our CAP or catabolite activator protein along with cyclic AMP will bind. Where is this cyclic AMP coming from? ATP gets converted to cyclic AMP in presence of adenyl cyclase. Yeah, that is how it is coming. Okay, cyclic AMP. So this whole structure is an arabinose operon. 4 genes: ARA-BAD, ARA-B, ARA-B, sorry, ARA-A and ARA-D and ARA-C. What are they coding for? Isomerase, ribokinase, protein C regulating protein and epimerase. Of this, isomerase, ribokinase and epimerase are required for conversion of arabinose to HMP, sorry, to xylulose 5-phosphate, which goes into the HMP shunt. Then two promoter sites are there. One promoter site is for BAD, wherein RNA polymerase will bind to it and it will transcribe the mRNA. Then the second promoter site is for the ARA-C protein. Here also RNA polymerase will bind and it will transcribe it in this direction. Okay, and mRNA for protein C is generated. Now there are two operator sites, O1 and O2, and two inducer sites, I1 and I2. Both these sites are attached by this C regulatory protein, which is a homotimer. It has a DNA binding site and an arabinose binding site. Alright. Then there is a CRE site or catabolite gene response element or CRE, to which CAP and cyclic AMP will bind. Alright. So this is the basic structure of an arabinose operon. Now we will see how this operon is regulated. So now let us look at the first scenario. First scenario wherein there is absence of arabinose. No arabinose. No arabinose and glucose is present. When no arabinose and glucose is present, what will the E. coli or what will the bacteria do? It will utilize the glucose, and there is no need for BAD. No need for these enzymes for conversion of arabinose. So what does it do? How does it regulate the transcription of this BAD? Let us look at that. When there is no arabinose, what happens is the C protein, which is a homotimer, one part of this will bind to operator region 2 and one part will bind to inducer region 1. Operator region 2 and inducer region 1. So what will happen because of this binding, what will happen is the DNA will curve on itself. The DNA will curve on itself. Okay, so this is your O2, this is your RRC region, this is your I1, I2, then there is your CAP or CRE region, then there is this O1 region, and then it is your promoter C region. Promoter C region. What has happened? This C protein, it has bound like this. This C protein, it has bound like this. Okay, so because of this, what has happened? Because of this binding, the DNA has folded on itself. After this, we had the promoter region for PAD, then PAD, correct? This is the main operon BAD. Okay. Now there is a promoter I2, I1, CRE region, O2, promoter C, O1 and OR. Now what is happening is this protein C, in absence of arabinose, there is no arabinose. When there is no arabinose, what will happen to this protein is, this protein, it will come and bind between these two regions. It will come and it will bind between these two regions. It will come and bind between these two regions. So when it binds to these regions, what happens is this whole DNA will turn on itself and it will become a hairpin bend. Okay, and it will become a bend. Now the disadvantage of this bend is the RNA polymerase, it cannot bind here. The RNA polymerase, it cannot bind here because of this bend. So when it cannot bind, what will happen? Transcription will stop. Okay, so in the absence of arabinose, C protein is inhibiting transcription of BAD. C protein is inhibiting transcription of BAD, which is an example of a negative regulation. Okay, now suppose, okay, when here glucose is present, what happens to the adenylyl cyclase? Adenylyl cyclase levels will go down. So does cyclic AMP levels. When that happens, CAP and cyclic AMP will not bind and the CRE region will be free. And it will not be bound. Now let us look at the second scenario. When arabinose is present. And glucose is absent. Arabinose is present and glucose is absent. When arabinose is present, the C protein it will bind with arabinose. It will bind with arabinose. C protein will bind with arabinose and to the inducer region, and it will release this part. It will release this part because arabinose has come and bound here. So it will release this part. Once this part is released, what will happen? The DNA again will become straight. The DNA will become straight. It will have these three bad. Okay. Then there is a promoter for bad. Then there is I1, I2. Okay. Then there is this CRE region. Then O1, promoter C, O2 and RRC. Okay. Now this, what has happened here? This has released the operator 2 site. When that has released the operator 2 site, what will happen to it is it will bind these two regions. I1 and I2 along with the arabinose. I1 and I2 along with the arabinose. Okay. This binding of I1 and I2 is a positive stimulator for RNA polymerase. It is a positive stimulator for RNA polymerase, as well as because the hairpin bend is released, now it is a good chance for the RNA polymerase, or the road has cleared for RNA polymerase to do its work. All right. Now the second thing that will happen is when there is low glucose, levels, there is increased adenylyl cyclase, which means increase cyclic AMP, which means cap and cyclic AMP are bound. This cap along with cyclic AMP, we know that cap and cyclic AMP are the stimulators for RNA polymerase. So what will happen is RNA polymerase will come and bind here. RNA polymerase will come and bind here, and it will transcribe the mRNA for BAD. This will synthesize the enzymes or translate into enzymes. These enzymes will convert arabinose into xylulose 5-phosphate. It will convert arabinose into xylulose 5-phosphate. So two scenarios here. I hope it's pretty much clear. In the first, there is no arabinose. Okay, here C protein has inhibited transcription. How it has inhibited? It has bound to the operator 2 region and to the inducer 1 region. All right. Now, because of that, the DNA has folded on itself and RNA polymerase has no space for it to work. Second thing, the Cre site is free because there is no cyclic AMP cap. In the second scenario, arabinose is present and glucose is absent. So first thing that is happening is increased cyclic AMP and cap. This comes and attached to the CRE region. Then the second thing that will happen is presence of arabinose will change the structural conformation of C, and it will release the operator 2 site, and it will come and bind to the I1 and I2 both. Okay. Now this binding of C to I1 and I2 will recruit the RNA polymerase. So two strong positive factors for RNA polymerase. So this RNA polymerase has come and now it has transcribed the mRNA. This mRNA is translated into enzymes. Those enzymes have converted arabinose to xylulose 5-phosphate. So this kind of regulation wherein C is recruiting or it is increasing the transcription, of bad. This is an example of positive regulation. So both positive and negative regulation will occur with arabinose operon. Now one more thing that we need to know is there is also a promoter for C and an operator 1 region. What are they for? These are for regulation of ARA-C. Suppose a lot of ARA-C has come in. A lot of ARA-C has come in. A lot of ARA-C has come in. What this ARA-C will do is, this ARA-C will go and sit. This RSC will go and sit on O1 region. This O1 region will prevent RNA polymerase from binding. RNA polymerase cannot bind to this promoter region. This PC is promoter region for this gene, correct? So what I suppose there is a lot of C. This C will go and bind to O1 region. This will prevent RNA polymerase, which cannot further synthesize any mRNA for ARSC, and any more C cannot form. So an increased concentration of protein C will auto-regulate itself by blocking the O1 site, by binding with the O1 site and blocking the RNA polymerase from binding to the promoter site. Okay, so that is arabinose operon. Short recap. Arabinose operon, it is made up of 4 genes A, B, C, D, which are required. These enzymes, isomerase, ribonuclease and epimerase, they are required for conversion of arabinose to cellulose 5-phosphate, which goes into the HMP shunt. Then it contains 2 promoter region. One promoter region is for the BAT and one promoter region is for ARSC or the C regulatory protein. Then 2 operators O2 and O1 and 2 inducers I1 and I2, both of which are bound with the regulatory binding protein C. Then we are also having a catabolite gene response element CRE, to which CAP and cyclic AMP will bind. Now C is a homodimer. It has a DNA binding site and an arabinose binding site. So when there is no arabinose, what will happen? C will bind to O2 region and I1 region, which will bend the DNA, and this conformation is not good for the RNA polymerase to work. It will hinder the action of RNA polymerase. So no mRNA is synthesized, and this C protein will inhibit transcription of BAD. Now in the second scenario, what will happen when arabinose is present? This arabinose will come and bind with the C region. It will change the structure of C and it will release the operator 2 site. Once the operator 2 site is released, this hairpin bend is converted into a straightened DNA. When DNA gets straightened, then RNA polymerase can work appropriately, or its route gets cleared. Second thing that happens is no glucose. When there is no glucose, there is increased cyclic AMP, which binds with CAP and cyclic AMP bind to CRE region. Both these positive factors will cause transcription in a smooth way. So C protein is increasing transcription of BAT, and finally when there is increased concentration of C, it will auto regulate itself by binding to O1 region. All right, so that is arabinose operon.